do if people in my class don't like me? To be honest, I never tried talking to a lot of people, but I can already feel that they don't like me. One already switched seats when I sat next to them. I am socially inept, as in, I seriously do not know how to talk or introduce myself to others, and I'm scared I might actually die alone if I don't change this. It's affecting me in terms of finding group mates for assignments and also making friends. I already give off the nerd vibes as it is, as I just like to read books and learn new things and always make something good that I'm working on. No room for something mediocre. In this setting, of course, you're in a classroom, of course you're gonna be having group mates for assignments and projects and stuff like that. If you don't know how to, well, that person already said, I seriously do not know how to talk or introduce myself to others, and I'm scared that I might actually die alone. I really don't know how to give advice on people who experience this, kasi sometimes I'm also like this. I don't know how to introduce myself properly. As you guys can tell, I'm a PH person, so I sometimes I don't really know how to introduce myself or talk to others if I don't know them. Pero yeah, you can already tell if someone doesn't like you if you know, one already switched seats when I sat next to them. Gosh, this is like a slap in the face kasi it's either you have body odor or you stink or they don't like you in general. I don't know what the OP looks like. I'm not judging, but you know, if someone already switched seats when you sat next to them, I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, how do you handle people like this? I'm not like. Have you guys ever experienced being in a room and it's just you, and you know you're kind of awkward with everybody, but how do you overcome situations like that? Do you just approach one person and just, hi, I'm Mia, nice to meet you. But to be honest, that's kind of scary. That's a very very big leap to do kasi mahirap mahirap talagang ano lumapit and be open about yourself to somebody you don't know. I don't know. So let's try to check the comments down below. You sure you have This is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry if I judge it really quickly. I called it quick. I called it already. You sure you have showered, brush your teeth, have your hair cut, washed, appropriately styled, clothes washed, etc. every single day, not just sometimes. Okay. This one is kind of long. You can't control whether or not people like you, especially not by changing who you are. You can control your hygiene and manners. I am going to assume that you have the former on point. I'm going to assume that you have the former on point, but suggest that you take care not to use overpowering scented products if you will be in close proximity to others who have sensitivities or allergies. As for your manners, the easiest way to become less painfully self-conscious is to concentrate on others. This can take some practice, so start slowly. You don't want to be a stalker level intense, but more open and curious. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that every interaction is crucial, but do consider each interaction a chance to learn or observe something about the other person. Try to notice and remember things about people that might give you an opening to talk or a window into their preferences or personality. There's a fine line between being curious and being intrusive, so it's best to ask a few open-ended questions rather than a lot of pointed ones. Example, you notice that the person next to you is wearing a tee featuring a band that toured all over the summer. You could say something like, "Hey, I really like the graphic on that. Are you a fan of the band or are you rocking the look?" If you don't actually like the graphic, don't say you do. Just say something true but non-judgmental about why you noticed it, like, what an eye-catching image. A lot of people are low-key excited to talk about what interests them or what they are passionate about, and most of us don't get to talk about those things enough. People will really show you who they are if you can get them talking about the things they care about. Being a considerate listener, taking an active interest, asking questions, and remembering details, and showing respect and curiosity about their interest will make them feel seen and validated. It's hard not to like someone who really gives care and attention to a conversation. Do not attempt this approach if you are not interested in or curious about what the person think and feel. You won't enjoy yourself and will come off intrusive or manipulative. If you honestly couldn't care less about what goes on in other people's heads, figure out why that's true before you start. You don't need to become emotionally invested, but do apply an honest attitude of respect and curiosity to the process. If they are dismissive or rude or standoffish, don't take it personally, it's just information. This person is not open to engaging right now. Give them space and the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they are going through something and don't have the bandwidth to be social. Maybe they're just a jerk. The hard part is remembering that it doesn't matter. We only have access to the full information inside our own heads, not anyone else's. People also generally like to help when they can. You can use your social anxiety to circumvent itself by being openly vulnerable about it. Use a little humor, but avoid putting yourself down. Ang hirap nito. This is hard. Use a little humor, but avoid putting yourself down. For me, anxiety, depression, late diagnosed ADHD, possible autism, that might look like being triggered when the class is called on to form into an assigned groups for a project. Because of the times in my early experiences when I was bullied or always chosen last or just rejected. That vulnerability can be a real stumbling block, but if I announce, hey, I'm massively anxious and awkward but my handwriting is great and I am a perfectionist about class projects, who needs a talented introvert? I have unplugged those emotional circuits. I am not a sad, lonely fifth grader. I am a valuable, if eccentric addition to this specific problem-solving attempt. But put my classmates and instructor on notice that I am neurodivergent and not ashamed of it, and laid out what I bring to the table. Anyone attempting to weaponize my weirdness against me after that is doing me a favor by labeling themselves as a lost cause for my efforts. I can use my energy elsewhere. You can do it. OP. Great answer. And I lost my mouth went dry. That was so long. That was a very, very long comment. But yeah. Hermit crab ako, overprotective on my own. Has a very vulnerable inside. That's why we are considering your feelings, Ange. Don't worry, you're safe here. Ay, di na pala. Moderator na pala dito si Rowan. Pero yeah, apparently, all the points on, having socialization skills, this person said it right. All of this. Giving very very detailed advice. So, well, sinabi naman niya na the person is neurodivergent and not ashamed of it. I can tell. It's very, very detailed actually. This is one of the basic things you should know when you're trying to develop socialization. Kasi sa mga kids, for the kids who have this one, the therapist actually tells us to do this with, kids. But yeah, find your tribe. Seek out people who like the same things you do. If they aren't at your school, even better. For now, you can get socialized and learn how to have a conversation. Nuances of interpersonal relationships, make friends, build those friendships over time, etc. Any relationship needs conversation to grow. By not talking, you're sending a strong vibe that you don't belong.